All right. Hello everyone. This is just going to be a small, I guess, more so discussion or like um a history of the Fords Adjust cannons that has have been popping up more and more on Complex. So I've made three. Other people are starting to dabble in this tech as well. And I just thought I would walk people through what it does, how it works, and why um, I have basically completely switched into it. So, with most cannons, or most conventional cannons, you get a conventional barrel like this. So you've got your power here, um, you got your chests there, and then of course a slab just to lower the Y velocity just a little bit. So this is a very, very conventional barrel. This was the barrel that I basically always used in my tutorial series. Um, and that was, or and it still is, what most people use for most cannons. However, over the past, like, I put the concept video for this out about, or I don't even know when, probably a year ago. And basically on my return to Crystal and Complex, started to dabble more and more into these cannons. And it's at the point where I think these are probably the best style of cannons to be using for long range sniping. So basically, with a conventional barrel like this, of course, Y always goes first, regardless of what happens. It's always Y first. Now, the next best exposure, of course, given by that chest there, is your sideways exposure. So after it hits something, or if it doesn't hit anything, whatever, it goes up, and then it goes sideways, and then it goes forwards. Now with this barrel, because you always get the best exposure from the chests here, um, it's always going to have a lot more float in the x-axis than it will range in the y-axis. It's not a lot. It's a significant amount, like maybe 10%. Um, but that is still a lot of it depends what you're doing, but it still could be a lot of power loss when you're not using that power to go forwards. So the method that I adopted recently was called forwards adjusting. So basically, what it does is it instead uses a deliberately worse float here to get a different adjust. Say if we've got like this is like my standard forwards adjust barrel. If we've got cobblestone walls there, and we say shoot our scatters into it like that, and then we shoot our power, what's always going to happen is our Y always goes first. That's always given. Now, because our next best exposure is going forwards, um, like that, um, it goes forwards next, and then it goes across. Now, the issue with this, of course, is say if you have like a wall here, it's going to hit this wall and it's going to go across the side. So that's no good. And if you have a wall here, of course, you have now significantly worse exposure in like basically where you're shooting to. So if you put a wall here, it's now not going to reach anywhere um, near the range that you would with that barrel there. Now, where the trade-off is for these styles of cannons is um, like basically you can work around these two issues here by essentially having this cannon basically triangle fully out first, and then you adjust forwards of the cannon instead of like at the cannon. So say if we put a block in the adjust here, we need to make sure that our like where it's adjusting forwards, there's nothing in the way. So this cannon basically goes up and then forwards and then across. And now when it hits a block here, if we haven't cancelled out that Y velocity there, it goes up again and then it goes forwards. And that basically allows you to keep the significant forwards exposure that you get from the barrel and use it properly and basically utilize it to go forwards on the cannon instead. Um, And of course, like at this point here, if you basically shoot it straight out of the barrel, and you don't have a Y guider here either, that also means you can adjust your Y up here as well, which is quite important because if you adjust your Y down here, Canon will triangle like this. So it'll follow the same sort of triangle, and you can still adjust it over here. However, after that first game tick, your Canon will start to dip down slightly. And what that basically causes, and this is why 1x1s are so important, is if your Canon hits a block here, it will clip, it will stack there, and it will basically waste a shot there. If it hits something here, it will also clip there, stack there, and waste a shot there. And tunnel hammer ratios often do not like the Y difference. So basically, if you're using like any sort of like, I think I used like the bottom method for a concrete cannon where it sort of doesn't matter where your Y adjust is. So it keeps it a little bit more simple if you do your Y adjust at the cannon and your X adjust at the wall. However, you don't get to shoot through that 1x1. However, using the top method here, you of course get like a slightly more complex trajectory that you need to like map out properly. So I'm just going to click that adjust. So you need to map that out properly, and then you adjust your X first at the wall, and then after your X, you adjust your Y at the wall as well. And like the natural evolution for that was like essentially going into, I think most modern diags make use of this forwards adjust method now. My very, very first diag for complex, when diags were completely unheard of, for complex in particular back in like season 15 or something, it used this bottom method of like triangling over multiple game ticks, combined with essentially this chest barrel. So what it did is it went up, then forwards, then up, then forwards, and then like that. Basically like weaved its way over to the base. And of course, like you don't get the range advantage of doing that that forwards adjust when you're doing that. And then it was like maybe about eight months to a year ago, I put out the concept for the actual forwards adjust. That was before I took my break. Maybe it might be more than a year now, to be honest. And then of course, like I took a big break from Minecraft in general. And basically, as I've come back, what I've done is I've combined this forwards adjust here with a few different cannons. Some are diags, some are straight shooters, that sort of stuff as well. I think other people have been doing it for a while as well. I don't know if they went through my video and used my video, or if this has been a concept before. But I've sort of brought new light to it over the past few weeks for complex in particular. My latest hammerless is using this method as well. And yeah, that's sort of a quick introduction as to what this forwards adjust does. I'm going to make these videos as part of a small series because there's a bunch of different ways you can do this. If anyone's seen my old, well, not my old, what am I saying? My new hammerless force basically does this method, but it does it over 4 game ticks. And what that allows me to do is basically have my hammer get dispensed with my power, and I'm still able to use a tunneled hammer with this setup here. So in the next video, what I will talk about is like the various advantages, disadvantages of this setup, how you can adjust it, how you can do it legally, how you can do it illegally, just a bit more on the theory behind like a couple of different paths you can take with this setup. And then after that, I'll explain like the render queue, because the render queue for this setup is a bit more iffy because you're basically shifting a window around. But anyway, hopefully you enjoyed, hopefully you learned something new, and I will catch you later.